Koma ino Malawi, have you ever seen a comeback this dramatic? Imagine being booed out of office 1 year and sworn back into power a few years later. That's not a movie. That's Justice Jane Ansah's real-life plot twist. Back in 2019, her name was dripping in controversy like Nsima in too much soup. Chipongwe, Tippex, protests, you name it. Fast forward to 2025, and she is sitting right next to Mutharika as Vice President of Malawi. Indeed too. Destiny sometimes wears high heels and a gown. But how did we get here? Was she really the villain people painted her to be, or just the perfect scapegoat in a stormy election year? Today we break it down. No fluff, no fear. Just the real story, told Global Pulse Newz style, sharp, spicy, and soaked in truth. Stay tuned, because by the end you might just say, Amalawi, tinamumve tamola kuikauyu. Let's rewind. Before the chants and placards, Justice Dr. Jane Ansah was one of Malawi's proudest success stories. First female Attorney General, Supreme Court Judge, and later chairperson of the Malawi Electoral Commission. In short, a woman who climbed where few dared. But being MEC chair in 2019, Bwanji, that was like walking into a lion's den wearing a steak suit. The stakes were sky high, and so were the tempers. The election was tight, emotions tighter, and then boom! Someone noticed white marks on result sheets. Tippex! Suddenly the whole nation shouted Chipongwe. Social media exploded, streets flooded with protests, and every conversation turned into a courtroom. Ansah stood firm, saying she had nothing to hide, but Malawians weren't buying it. They cried, "We want justice." Others added, "We want resignation." The air was thick with anger and disappointment. Now, imagine her seat, hotter than a Karonga chili pepper. Yet she stayed calm, unshaken, saying, "I did my duty with integrity." Some saw arrogance, others saw courage. The truth may be both. But here's where it gets juicy, because this so-called Chipongwe would later flip the political script in ways no one saw coming. When the Constitutional Court dropped its hammer, Malawians held their breath. For the first time in history, a sitting president's victory was nullified. The judges cited massive irregularities, not necessarily fraud, but enough to shake the democratic table. Zimenezi za nilamu za mbili. Ansah's reputation took the hardest hit, though she wasn't personally convicted of wrongdoing. Still, public opinion doesn't need court evidence. Once the crowd decides, your image burns faster than cheap petrol. Demonstrators marched, songs were sung, Ansah must fall. She became the face of electoral chaos, a symbol of everything wrong with governance. Under that storm, she finally resigned in May 2020. For many, that was closure. For her, it was heartbreak. But like every strong Malawian woman, she didn't disappear. She retreated, regrouped, and waited. Muntu sajimanganzo paulendo modi. While others were busy mocking her downfall, Ansah was quietly studying the game. And when she returned, she didn't just knock on the door of politics. She kicked it open. Heels first.
Fast forward 6 years. Malawi's political stage is buzzing again. Mutharika's planning his big comeback. And suddenly, boom, he picks Jane Ansah as his running mate. The same Jane who once carried the weight of Chipongwe. The internet nearly faded. Go to Iatena. Really? Memes everywhere. But Mutharika's team called it strategic redemption. Some analysts said the move was genius. Bring back the woman everyone blamed, now prove she was never the problem. Others called it risky. You're reviving old ghosts, bwana. Ansah, meanwhile, stood before the cameras, calm and radiant, declaring her mission: unity, forgiveness, and service. She spoke softly, but her message hit hard. "We cannot build the future if we're chained to anger," she said, and just like that, the room went silent. Election Day 2025, turnout high, tension higher. Ballots counted, eyes glued to screens. And then Mutharika Ansah ticket wins with 56.8%. Just like that, the Tippex queen became vice president. Malawi, mulungunda mene amachita zento zodabuisa. Now, before we start clapping too loud, let's talk about what this means, because redemption stories sound nice until power politics walks in. Her comeback isn't just emotional, it's strategic. Mutharika is 85 years old. Everyone knows succession talk is louder than campaign drums. By choosing Ansah, he injected youth, credibility, and controversy all in one package. She's loyal, legally sharp, and already battle-tested. But the road ahead isn't lined with roses, more like thorns wrapped in hashtags. Critics whisper, Vice President waku museum uyo won't see amagwira nchito pa TV and Facebook. They think her role will be ceremonial, that she's a figurehead to polish DPP's image. But others see something deeper. They say she's being groomed, yes, groomed, to lead after Mutharika steps down. Remember, this is a woman who survived national outrage, court drama, and global headlines. Mklamene wakala mumoto ni osavuta kutenta kawili. So, the question is, will she use this chance to rewrite her legacy, or will the ghost of 2019 keep haunting her political bedroom? Because Malawians forgive, yes, but they don't forget easily. And social media, hey, that one never sleeps. Hold that thought, because this next part is where things get politically philosophical and a little spicy. Here's the deeper layer. Malawi's politics is like a game of chess on a windy day. Every move can blow up in your face. Jane Ansah's rise challenges the very idea of accountability. Did she truly earn her redemption, or did time just cool the anger? Some say her comeback shows maturity and democracy. Others call it short memory syndrome. But in fairness, Ansah brings something rare, discipline. No leaked scandals, no midnight rants, no cashgate whispers, just quiet composure. That's refreshing in a continent where loud politics often overshadows competence. She's been using her vice presidency to advocate unity, women's leadership, and judicial independence. Koma ma speech ake amakoma ngati mpika wa chambo. Still, not everyone's buying it. Opposition MPs warn that elevating controversial figures normalizes past mistakes. Civil society groups keep reminding her that forgiveness is not the same as forgetting. Yet, in every rally, she draws massive crowds, especially women shouting, Titokoze Jane. So, as history keeps looping, we ask the million-kwacha question, what does Jane Ansah's story say about us, as Malawians and as voters? Here's the pulse beneath the noise. Just as Jane Ansah's journey isn't just her own, it mirrors Malawi's, a nation balancing justice, memory, and forgiveness. From Tippex stains to oath-taking stages, her path reminds us that in politics, villains and heroes sometimes swipe chairs faster than a Blantyre minibus changes conductors. She fell, yes, but she also rose. And whether you call it divine justice or political luck, her story forces us to confront uncomfortable truths, our need for accountability, our culture of redemption, and our tendency to forget who burned us last season. Komainu wa Malawi, tikupfuniza kana tikungusewera masewerwa ntawi. If she succeeds, she might inspire a new generation of fearless Malawian women, leaders who fall publicly but rise even louder. If she fails, well, the Chipongwe label will be tattooed forever in our political folklore. Either way, history is watching, and so are we. So, tell me, is Jane Ansah a symbol of forgiveness or a reminder of forgetfulness? Drop your thoughts in the comments below, smash that like button if you believe in second chances, and don't forget to subscribe for more news with attitude right here on Global Post News. Because, Malawi, tika mafotoro za muchimochimodzi, ndiye mukuzua. We don't just report the news, we feel it, we question it, and we deliver it with fire.